My name's Jonny Hannah. I'm a freelance illustrator and also teach 2 days a week on an illustration course at Solent University. And I do a lot of printmaking as well. So today I'm going to talk about the power of screen printing, if you like, and talk you through the process. So screen printing is a sort of half mechanical, half creative process. You expose your screen, as it's called. You put it on the exposure unit, and then that's how you get your drawing onto the screen, ready to start printing. So it's a fairly simple process. It's quite mechanical in places, but ultimately it's about being creative, and it's about, you know, making an exciting image. So you expose the screen, you then wash it out in the washout room, then you leave it to dry. So the preparation can take maybe a couple of hours. Then once you've got all your prep done, you can then start printing. So I like it because it's a process that has an industrial aspect to it. So screen printing is a commercial process used by printers all over the world. But it depends what you do with it. So it depends how creative you want to be. Cut your paper, get that ready. Get everything ready in advance, because once you start printing you can't really stop until you've finished printing that particular colour. You mix up your ink, get your ink ready as well, another thing you must do in advance, so that everything's ready before you actually begin the printing process. Getting the screen on the bed, as it's called, the screen bed, is essential, and then that's when you're ready to start printing. You're ready to start pushing the ink through the screen to make a print. You've got to clamp the screen down so that it doesn't move around. In printmaking, a thing called registration, which sounds like quite a technical term, but it's quite straightforward. You must get your image on the paper in the same place every time. Otherwise it'll be anarchy, which we don't want. So it's that thing of getting your screen registered so that it appears in the same place every time you do it. So for example, if you're doing 50 screen prints and they're all in a different place, that would cause chaos. So it is partly getting that done in advance and making sure that once you begin the process of printing, that things go smoothly. Should things not go smoothly, you stop immediately. Don't continue whatever you do, otherwise that would be awful. But once you get everything in right order, it's quite simple. Printmaking as a process is exciting because you can't do it on a computer. It's not the same. You can get close, visually you can get close, you can almost replicate the look of a screen print on etching or a lino cut, but it's not the same. I think as a hands-on process, it's a way of feeling what you're doing, and I think that's really important. So you put the ink on the screen, and then you get what's called a squeegee, and you push the ink through the holes in the screen, effectively. A screen is a mesh, a fine mesh. Once upon a time it was called silk screen because they were made of silk, not anymore. And then you push the ink through this sort of nylon screen in the places where your drawing is, and then you do that as many times as you need to until you've done your first colour. Printing is always about one colour at a time in the print room anyway. It's not like going to a printer's where they print CMYK. This is a creative process where you're printing one colour at a time, and you do that until the picture's finished. So if it's a 2-colour print, it's 2 colours you're printing. If it's 4, it's 4 obviously, and it's up to you how many you want to print with. The more you print with, the more complicated it gets, but then again it's still quite a straightforward process. So 2 colours later you have a finished print. And the beauty of screen printing is that you get that transparency of colour. So when the red overlays the blue, you get a lovely third colour, if you like, a sort of darker red and a darker blue.